Hi, I'm Dylan Brockhouse, and recently I had the privilege of reading Skin by Ted Dekker. Though I'm not typically a huge reader, I really got drawn into this sci-fi murder mystery, and once I started, I just couldn't put it down. This book was recommended to me by my librarian, Mrs. Rickards. She said it was full of suspense, and I was totally on board for that, so I decided to pick it up. Overall, I would give Skin a 4.4 out of 5. The book rotates around a mass psychotic killer who is loose in the streets. It kind of gives off a creepy V for Vendetta vibe, so if you were into that, I highly recommend this book. One aspect of the book that I really enjoyed was the construction of the first few chapters. Each chapter was written from the point of view of a different character throughout the book. For example, the first chapter is written from a recovering cult member, while the next chapter is written by a police officer, and the next inside the mind of the psychotic killer Red. And at first, these stories were really spread out, and it was a little bit confusing. But as the book got more into the plot, the stories started to intermingle, and we found that all the characters are finding themselves in the small town of Somerville, seemingly chosen by their killer Red. One reason I really like this book is though it's really lengthy, around 400 pages, it's really approachable. One particular aspect of the writing that I really enjoyed was the conflict that Ted Dekker is able to use between a serious tone with adding in little bits of irony that just makes me laugh. For example, if we look at the end of chapter 4, it says, Detective Mark Clifton pulled 2 surgical gloves out of his soaked jean pockets and pulled them on with an experienced snap. He'd been on a fishing trip, which explained the army jacket instead of the sport jacket, but no good forensic guy leaves his gloves at home, right? One step at a time, Luke. The man looked like he'd been born ready to throw handcuffs on the first bad guy who came within smelling distance. He killed her with a frozen chicken? What's it with everybody in this chicken thing, Luke asked. Well, we got a dead woman and a dead chicken, but doesn't mean the two are related. Interesting way to kill someone, Clifton said, stroking the chicken with one finger. Colt says this guy might be after him, Luke said. The detective's eye twitched. A lot of trouble for one man. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Luke said. Clifton picked up the chicken, he grabbed it by the leg, and swung it into his hand. Smack. Then he swung it again. Harder. He looked up at them. We got one sick puppy, gentlemen. As you can tell, there is obviously a lot of suspense in this book, and the characters are all searching for a murder on the loose in the streets. This book would be a great read for someone who is really into suspense, or mystery genre, or maybe just sci-fi, or just in for a good deep read. After diving into this book, a variety of parallels I found present to the Christianity books that we read in theology class. While this increases the experience for you to actually have knowledge of ideas like Lucifer, maybe the Garden of Eden, and ideas like atonement, it's not fully necessary to really enjoy this book. One could probably continue reading this book and really enjoy it without having a big knowledge behind this book like I was fortunate to have. Overall, this is one of my favorite books that I've ever read. It had a lot of crazy twists that I was completely not expecting, but I loved every moment of it. I strongly recommend this book, and you should go check it out. Thanks.